Well, we're continuing our talk with Minister Watterson. This one, you're saying that you're looking forward to delivering a successful TT, but I put it to you already, it's been pretty disastrous as far as loss of lives. Yeah,
loss of life is something that we work really hard to try and avoid. The Department of Infrastructure, the Department of Home Affairs work really hard to ensure that there's an active safety campaign, that we do visible policing. But at the end of the day, the responsibility for this does rest with the riders to think about what's around the next corner, and when they're putting their helmets on, to make sure their brain's in it.
Because, I mean, we did the thing about this slogan, and I did put it to the Minister responsible for infrastructure, that does that really make anybody think twice? And, I mean, OK, you're doing your bit, but at the end of the day, you have de-restricted roads on the Isle of Man, which is always going to be a source of enjoyment or whatever reason for coming for the TT. You know where I'm going on this?
Yeah. You know, we want people to come to the Isle of Man. We want people to have fun. We want them to enjoy their biking. But that's no excuse for abrogating your responsibilities to your own safety and the safety of others. You know, everyone who's come here is riding a bike. These aren't sort of 16-year-olds on mopeds. These are people who should be experienced riders who are pushing themselves, but it's their responsibility to think about their training, to think about what's around the next corner, and play their own part in that overall safety campaign.
But you can't be happy with it. I mean, we're only halfway through it, and the death toll is mounting. I mean, this is before the racing starts.
I think it's inevitable that when you have these sort of conditions, when you have this many more bikers on normal roads and de-restricted speed limits, that there will inevitably be accidents, sometimes serious accidents and sometimes fatalities. I think that's something that, provided that people are playing their own part in the safety of themselves, and the government is doing its best to try and help, that we minimise the impact of that.
Do you see a time when you will have to look at speed limits again?
It's certainly not in my plan to do in the near future. I say this is about individual responsibility, not the nanny state.